Okay, hi. Mike Johnston from Verifone MobileMoney. Perhaps I'll just, as an initial introduction to the presentation, explain who Verifone MobileMoney is in regards to the relationship with Verifone. We've heard a number of things on the panel discussion this morning regarding how to get people to trust mobile money systems, how to get them to use them, drive the adoption of them, etc. One of the points that was raised was, well, why wouldn't I just use cash? Why will I use this kind of service if I have a frictionless transaction with cash anyway? So I'm going to cover that. I'm going to keep this very short. I know we're running quite substantially behind time, so I'm going to have sort of 5 or 10 minutes here, and then I'm going to introduce our partner, TZ Mobile from Abuja, to just give you a few words from a customer perspective. Okay, who is Verifone? I won't go into that. We're at a mobile payments conference. Everybody, I'm sure, is probably familiar with who Verifone is, where they fit in the world market. They're the market leader in terms of point-of-sale infrastructure worldwide. And one of the things that Verifone Mobile Money was formed to actually do was to exploit that kind of penetration in the market and actually say, okay, how do we marry this up with mobile money? How do we bring mobile money to the point of sale using the infrastructure that Verifone already has in place? And what we bring to the equation, we're a joint venture company with Verifone who bring a mobile payment switch and POS and MPOS acceptance devices. How do we actually get the mobile money to transact at the point of sale? I'll just give you a brief agenda of what I'm going to run through. Is just a number of slides, particularly the key enablers or drivers for mobile money. Just a few quick statistics on that. One of the things with mobile money, and it's called mobile money, is statistically the vast majority of transactions in mobile money are cash in at one end and cash out at the other end. And that includes the poster childs of M-Pesa, Airtel Money, etc. We're talking about 85% of transactions are cash in at one end and cash out at the other. And what we set about to do was to actually say, okay, how do we keep this cash in the system? How do we actually start transacting with it? Because with cash in, cash out, all we've really done is replaced one mechanism through the banking channels with a slightly more efficient mechanism through the mobile channels to actually get cash from one place to another. The trick is, how do we replace the cash as part of the transaction mechanism? Just some market snapshots and trends there. There's some fairly staggering numbers, and I'm sure they've probably all changed since this presentation was put together, and people would be able to correct me on that. But we're really looking at some fairly staggering numbers in terms of, for instance, in Kenya, the number of agents who actually handle M-Pesa, the number of active mobile phone accounts worldwide. There's one staggering statistic that I found there, that there are actually 17 million unbanked adults in the United States of America. So when we actually talk about kind of the underbanked or unbanked markets, we're not necessarily referring just to the African continent or across Asia, etc. We're really referring to quite a wide group of people to whom these services can be driven. One of the things that is important in this is the drive towards NFC mobile phones, as to why they're possibly necessary for financial inclusion or transacting at the point of sale. From Verifone Mobile Money's perspective, and I think from anyone's, NFC is just a way for two devices to communicate. It can be done with Bluetooth, it can be done with audio, it can be done with a whole number of different mechanisms like QR codes, etc. NFC is just a convenience. It's not mandatory for the enablement of retail at the point of sale. The challenges faced by the industry are largely things that we've heard about on the panel today. The friction at retail is the major incidence of issue that we actually have with mobile money. We've all seen the transactions that people are trying to do keying lots of keys on their mobile phones using USSD or SMS type services, etc. They don't work. And the answer to why would you not use cash is probably answered. The reason you would use cash is because there is so much friction in that process that it's not taken up. The type of handsets that we face in the market. We have basic phones in the market. We don't have NFC at the point of sale. We can't introduce a service which requires those things when there are literally countless millions or billions of devices which don't accept things like NFC and can't deal with applications that deal with banks, etc. There are new players in the market. We've heard, I mean, traditional kind of banking world is moving to a new ecosystem which includes mobile network operators, payment service providers. There's a new regulatory environment building up around these to actually put in place controls that will actually enable the services to be used in a wider kind of environment. There's an expression that comes to mind in this where the mobile network operators clearly have the reach. The expression that I've heard describing it is think like a bank, dance like a telco. The aim being to drive services as rapidly as telcos can drive them, but clearly to maintain the controls and the regulation that surround money today in banks. The type of services that we need to be able to perform at the retail point of sale are standard services, paying bills, paying for goods and services, doing cash in, cash out, the type of transactions that you'd expect at the point of sale. How do we answer that problem of why not use cash at the point of sale? And I think the answer is we have to make it as frictionless as the targets that have already been set by cash or by payment cards at the point of sale. It's got to be quick, it's got to be easy, and it's got to be secure. And once you can achieve those things at the point of sale with the mobile phone, then you've cracked the mobile payment at retail kind of problem. And then you can drive adoption. And we've seen this, there are systems in place which are using this. You can drive adoption of the mobile money, mobile wallet type initiative by actually taking that friction away at the point of sale. And this keeps the cash in the system rather than it being transacted, as I've said, the vast majority cash in at one end, cash out at the other end. Let me hand you over to Musa, the CEO of T-Easy Mobile from Abuja, just to give you a short customer perspective on the use of this system. And thank you very much for your time.